Morning, everybody. You think it's a little warm in here? Yeah? If you think it's hot in here, you should be at our tent over at the Parker Days. Reverend Stephanie, we'd like to give a shout out. Our lead minister has been in that tent since Friday night. She's been there bell to bell. She'll be there tonight until probably 10 o'clock. So just want to shout out to them and everybody who volunteered to spend a couple hours over there talking about our CSL family. So it's going really well. We've had a lot of good conversations. So thank you, Reverend Stephanie. And Tony would like to dedicate this song to our music director, Alicia.
Swing wide the doors to let in the light. You need to dawn for the night. Swing wide the doors of the starry night. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. You need to dawn for the night. Swing wide the doors of the starry night. I'm not holding it in anymore. I'm gonna shout it out loud. I understand now what I'm here for, and what this life is about. What this life is about. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors, to let in the light. Bring in the dawn, bring in the light. Swing wide the doors of the starry night. Swing wide the doors of the starry night.
Yay.
Well, good morning, everyone. We'll be passing blankets out in just a few minutes. Oh my gosh, I want to welcome all of you here on this cold day in Parker, Colorado. I want to welcome you to the Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Dr. Vern, and I'm just delighted to be with you today. If I pass out, I just ask Dorothy and Clyde to pick me up, okay? Anyway, we're going to shorten the service. I had planned an hour-and-a-half talk, and I'm going to cut it down a little bit, if that's okay with you. If you are here for the very first time, a very special welcome to you. And let's see. My assistant today is Ann Grove. I'm delighted to have her joining me. She just always lights up the room. So Ann, welcome. And Vicki will be doing our announcements today. So yay, Vicki. And let's see, we have some practitioners like Vicki in the room wearing the white stoles and Ann Grove. If any of you are desiring any prayer support, please see one of them afterwards, and I don't know where you're meeting. They'll find a place over there by somewhere. Okay, so these practitioners have gone through 4 years of intensive training, and that training has amounted to them getting out of the way so that they can really hear what you have to say to them. And by the way, just you can meet with a practitioner just to celebrate your life if you'd like. That's fine. Lisa already announced where Reverend Stephanie is, and my heart goes out to her. I was thinking about her yesterday. I thought, oh my gosh. They say heaven and hell are states of mind, but this feels like more than a state of mind, doesn't it? Now, I'm going to stop talking about the temperature so you can stop thinking about it. Just imagine that you're just so cool you can hardly stand it. All right, so having said all of that, we now move into our service. I hope I'm not supposed to say something else, and I think I'll turn it back over to Lisa.
Get into the headspace of clearing out all the busyness of the week, all the heat, all the frustration, all the hurry. Just get inside your own center.
All right, now I can beller into it. So we're going to do our candle lighting this morning, and Larry Stevens, right? Oh, Wayne Stevens, right? Gardner. I knew it wasn't Stevens, so I decided to screw up the first name as well as the last name. But, all right, we're off to a great start. At CSL Parker, we honor all paths to the divine. This candle lighting service highlights 7 of those paths. Our theme for this month is the body. Last month was the emotions. Some of us are still a bit emotional, so we'll take a look at both today. We light the first candle in honor of Christianity. Gratitude is the healthiest of all human emotions. The more you express gratitude for what you have, the more likely you will have even more to express gratitude for. We light the second candle to honor Judaism, but feelings can't be ignored, no matter how unjust or ungrateful they seem. We light the third candle to honor Buddhism. You must be at one with your emotions because the body always follows the mind. We light the fourth candle to honor Confucianism. Not feeling compassion for a stranger is like not feeling when one's foot has caught on fire. We light the fifth candle to honor new thought. Instead of resisting any emotion, the best way to dispel it is to enter it fully, embrace it, and see through your resistance. We light the sixth candle to honor Hinduism. This world would be a better place if we try to understand the feelings of others. We light the seventh and final candle to honor Sikhism. Sweetness and humility are the essence of virtue and goodness. And I know that we welcome all of these spiritual traditions. We take from each of them, we use the best tools available for ourselves, for each other, and for our center, because we are one. We are united with a spirit, a source, a God greater than ourselves, greater than any religion, and greater than we can ever imagine. In knowing that, I know that this service is blessed and that everyone here is not only blessed, but everyone here is enriched by what they experience with us today. And so it is. And today's reading comes from maybe my most favorite book of all, this thing called You. It's a pretty easy to synthesize compilation of the writings of Ernest Holmes. So, you have just as much evidence of the existence of your soul as you do of the existence of an atom. While it is true that no one has ever seen this soul, it is also true that no one has ever seen love, beauty, or intelligence. You have an invisible body right now. You are immortal now. You are as immortal now as you ever will become. And you should begin to live like an immortal being. The soul is the one triumphant, indestructible, and inconquerable thing you possess. Shot from the invisible into this experience, it constitutes your great reality. But why wait for physical death to enjoy and experience your immortal being? Don't prepare to die. Prepare to live. Whether you're 10 years old or 100, like Dr. Verne. Almost? Yeah. He'll deal with me later. Either way, there is no death. It is impossible for you to die. Stop trying to die and learn to live.
Okay, this song, we've been focusing on the body, the temple, okay? So keep that in mind as we go through this song. This is called I Love Myself the Way I Am.
Just the way I am. still I want to grow. The change has started and only come. Inside I know I'm beautiful. I'm capable of being the best you like. And I love myself just the way I am. I love myself just the way I am.
Oh, thank you, Lisa, and the CSL Parker Band. What a great job you did today. Our topic today is loving this body. And sometimes it's very difficult for us to love this body because we really think we should tell the Maker how it could have done a better job with us. And I really want, as my outcome today, that each of you learns through this to love your body even more. Because the body has a much broader definition than I think we give it. And so a lot of this talk this morning is going to be based on a book called Quantum Healing by Deepak Chopra. And my students one time asked me to do an inventory of all the books that I would take if I were going to some deserted island somewhere, and Quantum Healing would be one of those books. Because what it did is it blew me open to a broader definition of who I am, because it's really easy to focus on the narrow viewpoint of this thing. And the way I like to look at it is you and I are pure energy. Pure energy. And we happen to have a vessel. And those vessels got designed and shaped in a certain way. But that's not the main point. The main point is that when you and I were born, that spark of perfection was placed within each of us, lest we forget that. Now, Deepak Chopra tells us that we have approximately 50 trillion cells in a typical body. 50 trillion. Now, I stayed awake last night trying to count those, and I got to 5 and I quit. But because, the challenge is, how do we manage 50 trillion cells? Well, it's pretty easy, and you're going to discover that throughout the talk this morning. Do you know that 80% of the patients who went to see a doctor, reported that their underlying cause was not addressed in that medical visit? 80%. Well, I've had a lot better luck than that, but it's kind of sobering. Now, the thing about our physical being is that there is no one organ that's just designed called the healing organ. In 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verses 19 and 20, it says to us, Do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit within you? This is a holy temple. And the question I ask myself frequently is, how do I treat this temple? because the title of this talk is Loving This Temple. Well, if we love something, how do we treat it? How do we treat someone or something? Holistic health means the marriage of mind and body. You all know this. I'm simply here to remind you. A guy named Anthony Bourdain said, your body is not a temple. He said it's an amusement park. And so his other advice is enjoy the ride. So let's take quantum physics a little bit deeper. Quantum really means a discrete jump from one level in our lives to another. I know that every one of you has experienced a quantum leap. I'll give you an example. Have you ever had an aha? An aha is a quantum leap. We don't need to make this complicated. So as I speak to you, don't let any jargon I use throw you off. Just relax and take it in. Get what you get and move on from there. Now, intelligence is everywhere in this body. Intelligence. Well, intelligence really is the difference between a home designed by an architect and a pile of bricks. That is the difference that intelligence makes. So it's everywhere in our being, and it's more intelligent and superior to anything that we can try to substitute it from the outside. If intelligence is present in our bodies, where does it come from? You know, I've studied a lot of scientists and people like Fred Alan Wolf, Amit Goswami, and others. And if you listen to these guys, they have fascinating dialogue because they don't know where intelligence resides in this vessel. I heard Amit Goswami say that he thinks intelligence isn't in the body at all. It just sort of hovers around us and follows us wherever we go. Emerson said the same thing almost 200 years ago. He said, "My giant goes with me wherever I go." Talking about the mastermind, the intelligence. Well, within this network of quantum are things called neurotransmitters. Now, I hope I don't lose you with these words. Neurotransmitters, but it's simple. The neurotransmitter has one job, and that is to transmit and ride along with each cell and communicate. Let me give you an example. If I get up in the morning and I say, "Oh my gosh, I am so tired," all 50 trillion cells get that message simultaneously. Now that ought to wake you up. I recently came back from a journey to Kansas to transport my brother back here. And I was exhausted at the end of that 8-hour drive, plus how many hours in the humidity, I can't even count them. And so the first morning I was back, I was lying in bed and saying, "Okay, what do I do now? Bring this body back from the dead, you know?" So I remembered Deepak Chopra saying that when we make a proclamation to our physical being, every cell hears it. Now, you think you have a large orchestra here. Imagine orchestrating 50 trillion cells. So we have this instant form of intelligence that touches all these cells and says, oh, he's tired. Let's make him right. So then this body gets to experience fatigue. So what did I do? I said, oh my gosh, I am filled with energy and light. And even though it had been an exhausting trip, I found a ray of light in this being. And you all have the same power. See, the issue is sometimes we think, oh, I was given this vessel, and I'm a prisoner of it. I don't have any control. And quantum would say, absolutely not. You have every bit of control. You are the conductor of this great orchestra. And you're the conductor with your thoughts and your words. What are you saying to yourself? So I would invite everyone here to really take a look at your language. If I indeed love this body, how am I treating it? And sometimes we have to set boundaries about this body and what we let in, huh? What kind of foods do we eat? What kind of words do we speak? What kind of messages do we allow in? I have gone on a diet recently, a very restrictive diet, to not listen to the news. That's my boundary. And I feel a lot better for it. That's what I mean. If we treat this vessel with respect, then we treat it as the home of the most precious thing in the entire universe, and that is the divine. Do you realize what a privilege and an honor it was for us to be given the seed of perfection at birth? And then how do we go through life managing this? Because isn't it true that you and I are stewards of everything in our lives? Our health, our money, our environment. The list goes on and on. So how are we stewards of this body? This quantum body is not separate from us. Listen carefully. It is us. It is us. Every little cell in our being is a little bitty sentient being. If you are in a state of worry or fear, each cell in your body knows that. There are no secrets. So the question then that I ask myself is this. One theory I told you about of the intelligence, I have to back up. There is the body with all its cells. There is the brain. The brain does all those things like mathematics. 5 times 5 is 42, things like that. And then there's the mind. The mind seems to be the manager of all these 50 trillion cells. And you manage the mind. You say yes to this and no to that. You are the conductor in a way. I do this once in a while. I lose where I am, so give me a moment to get back with you. And don't go to sleep. It's okay. I won't be that long. So there's all these levels, and they're all here in my being. The mind is the last one that I mentioned, but I want to go a little further. I want to address the role of the heart. I believe that we have totally underestimated the role and the value of the heart. I wonder sometimes as I listen to these scientists speak if the heart isn't really the manager of it all. If it isn't really where the center of our intelligence is. And I want you to test all these things out this week. And one of the ways to do it is, so I mentioned the body, the brain, the mind. What connects it all? What connects it? Could it be the heart? And here's the thing that I really enjoy doing. When I get lost, I take a deep breath and I say the following words. I now breathe into my open heart. And I repeat it until I feel it. And not only do I then begin to feel my connection with all life, not only do I learn to speak from my heart, I listen from my heart. And then I don't need a translator. Because have you noticed that when you think too much, you overanalyze too much, you get lost in the traffic up there? It's sort of like a freeway with all these things in an interchange and all that stuff's going every which way. So, the way to avoid that and to bypass it, no pun intended, is to go to the heart. I believe the heart will never lead us wrong. And when I am connected with my heart and I am making a decision from my heart, it is right. Usually I have found when I make my decisions from my head and I have spent enough time spinning, then I don't trust that. So what's the other part of this? For me, now the thing that runs the whole orchestra, the whole train, fill in the blank with your own metaphor, the thing that runs it all is our consciousness. And our consciousness is really the way we see the world. I like to look at consciousness as how much of my God light do I allow the world to experience? How much of it do I allow to go before me and prepare the way? And the greater my consciousness, the more accurate my life choices will be. And it requires a couple of things. Surrender. Surrender simply means I don't know it all. And I'm willing to learn. Surrender means I release the control that my ego has on my life. my needing to be right. Can any of you relate to what I'm saying this morning, or am I the only one here? Research says that aging is controlled by consciousness. Anne had that reading about prepare to live, not to die. That's consciousness. So when I make my choices, am I preparing to live or to die? Now, some of you are so much younger than I am, and you can't maybe relate to what I'm saying, but when you get into the older sphere of life, you begin to think about that last breath. And if you're not careful, it can control everything that you do. And this quote that Anne read is my wake-up call. Am I preparing to live, or am I preparing to die? And so I would ask you the same question. Now, I hope I have given you a lot of good news this morning, because this thing that we call a body, this thing that is us, is so much more than the 50 trillion cells. And what it needs is a mastermind, yours and mine, to run the whole show. So you and I have a lot to say. We have everything to say about loving our bodies. Oh. I want to read you the closing for this talk because I think it's really significant, tied in with quantum. It goes like this. The material body is a river of atoms. The mind is a river of thought, and what holds them together is a river of intelligence. Isn't that cool? So quantum healing, Deepak Chopra says that the mode of consciousness corrects the mistakes of the mode of the body. So quantum, then, he says, makes peace. And therefore, you are the peacemaker. Let's have a prayer. We give thanks and celebrate this phenomenon that we call the body, knowing that it is so much more. It is the tabernacle of the sacred. And you and I decorate the altar each day with our thoughts and our words and our actions. We bless the world by loving our bodies. We bless the world by being who we are, as we are, as the perfection of the Holy Spirit. I bless these words, and I bless each of you on this day, knowing what a privilege it is to share the journey with each of you. I bless your bodies. I bless my body, my 100-year-old body. May it know peace, and may you know peace in your bodies. You are each blessed and a blessing. And say with me, please, and so it is.
I love myself the way I am. There's nothing I need to change. I'll always be the perfect me. Nothing to rearrange. I'm beautiful. I'm capable of being the best me I can. And I love myself just the way I am.
Such a perfect song for today. It's our time now for our offering. It's time for you all to dig deep or deeper. Just being funny. Sorry, that wasn't too funny. But it is our time for our offering. Please know that your gifts and offerings are used responsibly as we endeavor to provide spiritual truths, tools for personal and community transformation. Your money enlightens the community of Parker, and it enlightens the world. Money is God in action. There are many ways to do good works, and your giving is one of those ways. So please take your gifts in your hand, or if you give electronically, as I do, please take your gift into your heart and affirm with me, I give this gift for you. I give this gift for me. Together we are community. Together we prosper. And so it is. I'd like to call April forward for her last Sunday as our usher. I want to thank April for all her time with us. Thank you so much.
I shall receive that I am blessed comes back to me. I see a face that I can share. I feel a pumpkin everywhere. I am worthy. I am free. I am worthy like I want to be. I am worthy. I am free. Like I want to be. Oh, reciprocating gratitude. I have a weakness in letting me. Oh, my heart is open wide. Knowing God always provides. I am working. I am free. I am like I want to be. Everybody. I am worthy, I am free. I am worthy like I want to be. I am worthy, I am free. I am worthy like I want to be. One more time. I am worthy, I am free. I am worthy like I want to be.
So I bless these gifts, and I bless each giver, knowing that these gifts go forth and bless the world. And so it is. All right, we have a ritual around here, which is before you leave, you get to hear announcements. And our person today is none other than Vicki Ward. Vicki, come on up.
Thank you. Is this on? Yep. Okay. Good morning. So Joe is away having some family time, and so you get to hear me this morning. So here we go. The theme for our June services, as we've been talking about today, is the body. And next Sunday, Reverend Stephanie will be delivering a message entitled, "The Body Remembers." So we do have youth ministry program for children ages 2 through 18. And you can see Heather, is she here? She's back with the kids now. If you want more information, and let's see. We have refreshments after the service. Let's stick around and nosh a little bit and visit. We do have plenty of prepackaged nuts and protein bars. If you would like to bring something else, there are sign-up sheets on a table near the snacks. And speaking of sign-up sheets, we are bringing back our Metaphysical Supper Club. These are such great fun. Wayne and Gloria began these several years ago, and it's a great way to get to know each other. There are sign-up sheets over there on the sign-up table. If you want to host, there's a sign-up sheet for you putting your name down and then letting us know how many people besides yourself that you can have at your home. And if you want to join in and go to somebody's house, please sign up as a guest. There's a host sign up, and then there's a guest sign up. And you can do both if you want to. So if you want to participate, know that the host will provide the main course, and then we'll contact you for whatever dish you might want to contribute. So join us, because it's a lot of fun. Remember our Facebook live chat with Reverend Steph at 6 p.m. on Wednesdays. Go to www.facebook.com/CSL Parker. It's a short 15-minute or so relevant message. And when you're talking and thinking about consciousness, like Dr. Vern was talking about earlier, he is offering another study on a book titled Thriving Through Uncertainty by Tama Kieves, Kieves. This is also a Zoom class, and it begins Wednesday, June 22nd, and Thursday, June 23rd. Wednesdays and Thursdays from 10 until 12. The investment is $105, but for any newcomer to Dr. Vern's classes, it's 50% off. So thank you for that, Dr. Vern. If you haven't gone to Parker Days this year, it's really a lot of fun. CSL Parker has a booth right in O'Brien Park. It's on the south side of the park under a nice tree, and its back is to Main Street, so it's easy to find, and it's a primo location. We've had a lot of activity and a lot of people interested in our center, our philosophy, and our activities. And like somebody, I think Lee said, Reverend Stephanie's been there Friday night, all day Saturday night, all day today and tonight until it closes. So, and then we've had some volunteers back and forth, and it's really been a good experience. It's gratifying to see so much interest in our center. And last but definitely not least, did you know that CSL Parker is a proud sponsor of the summer concerts at Discovery Park? Yeah. So these concerts are every Thursday from 6:30 until 8. Discovery Park is right there near the library, and they're free. You just get your lawn chairs and your picnic baskets, take your beach blankets, whatever you want, and enjoy the great music. And it's all free. So CSL Parker is participating in our Parker community, and it's wonderful to see how many folks are becoming interested in us. That's it for now. Oh, Dorothy, what? Oh, yes. Yep, I forgot. We do have PET. It's anybody who wants to volunteer to bring things for pets. I can't even remember the name of the organization. I don't have it. Pet Pantry. So this is we'll have two more Sundays, I think, to bring food and goodies for animals so that the Pet Pantry can feed and help all these pets that don't have homes. Thank you, Dorothy. Yeah. Oh, Wayne, you may.
So the Metaphysical Dinner Club is a takeoff of the Metaphysical Munchers, which we started, I don't know, 2.5 years ago, something like that, and it was derailed by the pandemic. And so I just wanted to say that this was something that we were involved in when we were going to Mile High Church. And I would say probably 8 or 10 of my very best friends in the entire world we met through Metaphysical Munchers at Mile High. And it's an opportunity for us to get together, get to know each other better. It's just a wonderful thing. So sign up. I'm going to be signing up for a host and a guest.
Me too.
All right.
Yeah. Do it all. Thank you, Wayne. Okay, that's it for now. Come enjoy some food. Did you need to say something, Dr. Byrne? Oh, well, yes. Never mind. Okay, have a great week and know that you are loved.
Vicki was a former second grade teacher. Can you just hear it as she speaks? Telling us where to go and what to do and when to do it. Thank you, Vicki. You are such a light. Okay, that's it, and I would like to close this with a prayer and a little music, and we will call it a day. So let's know that we all go forward in safety and coolness, because you are cool. And so it is.
Great segue. This little light of mine, you guys know this? This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. See me go shake it. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Where we go? Where we go? I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere we go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine.
I wanted to say one more thing. Aren't we glad Gary is back as our drummer?
Right on.
Woo!
You guys have a blessed week. Thank you.
There's a reason for the sunshine sky, and there's a reason why I'm feeling so high. Must be the season when that love light shines all around us. So let that feeling grab you deep inside and send you reeling where your love can't hide, and then go stealing through the moonlit nights with your lover. Just let your love flow like a mountain stream, and let your love grow with the smallest of dreams, and let your love show, and you'll know what I mean. It's the season. Let your love fly like a bird on a wing, and let your love find you to all living things, and let your love shine, and you'll know what I mean. That's the reason. There's a reason for the warm, sweet nights, and there's a reason for the candle